All right, so good morning again. Welcome to our opening ceremony. My name is Julia Cruz, and I'm part of the Hackathon planning team. On behalf of our planning team, Women in AI Canada wants to thank you all for joining us this weekend for the Women in AI Canada Hackathon 2022. Let's get started. Next slide, please. Okay, so in addition to myself, we have a few speakers who will be joining us today that you'll hear from throughout the opening ceremony. This includes Francie Clement, our Women in AI Ambassador from Canada, our keynote speakers, Buas Shakti, Chief Ethics and Culture Officer and Director of Americas from Women in AI Global, Celia Wanderley, CTO at AltaML, Ian Hargreaves, Fellow Artificial Intelligence at ATB, and Phoebe Marinakis, who will take us through the hackathon experience for the weekend. Next slide, please. Before I hand it off, though, I do want to give a big thanks to our hackathon planning team. None of this would be possible without the support of our volunteers. Francie, Phoebe, Leslie, Ellie, Yulia, Gabrielle. Please feel free to reach out to our team if you have any questions. Say hi over the weekend over Discord throughout the weekend. And again, big thanks to the hackathon planning team. I'm going to hand it over to Francie now.
Thank you, Julia. I am the Canadian Ambassador for Women in AI, and I'm so thrilled to be here for our first hackathon initiative from the Women in AI Canada chapter. I am also working as an AI leader, working in the Emerging IoT Solutions for Smart City initiative at TELUS Business. So I'd like to give a quick overview about Women in AI and why it is important to do what we are doing today, including this hackathon. Next slide, please, Yulia. Thank you. Okay. So Women in AI is a global community of female professionals working towards more gender-inclusive AI. We do that by organizing many initiatives that inspire, educate, and connect women such that they can enter a career in AI or advance their career in AI. The Future of Jobs Report 2020 by World Economic Forum says that by 2025, we have 85 million jobs displaced, but at the same time, 97 million new jobs will be emerging, adapting to this new division of labor between humans, machines, and algorithms. So the future of AI relies on people skills, but women still make up to only 22% in the AI or STEM workforce. So how do we fill this gap? Next slide, please. So the work that we do as a community with the support of our dear partners, sponsors are so important to motivate and empower more women to enter the AI workforce. Our initiatives are centered around making them more job ready for an AI career, where we provide technical workshops, career guidance for their career development, also build leadership skills so that they can become tech leaders or even executive leaders of tomorrow. So we are always focusing on responsible and ethical use of AI and to promote inclusivity in workforce and applications. Next slide, please. So we launched Women in AI 5 years back in Paris by 3 incredible female leaders, Mujan, Hanan, and Caroline. And today it is present in 150 countries with over 10,000 members. Our members are highly educated, with a majority of them having masters or higher. Next slide, please. Here. We launched in Canada in 2020, and we are celebrating our 2nd anniversary this year. And since then, we have grown into having presence in 7 cities with more than 50 volunteers, and we have already done more than 40 events supporting more women to enter careers in AI. Our next, please, the next slide. Thank you. Our initiatives include awards, mentoring, career guidance, and through our awards initiatives, we have celebrated more than 100 role models in AI. Through our new mentorship program we launched this year, we will be supporting more than 90 mentees. We have initiatives connecting hiring managers with AI talent, and today is our most exciting hackathon, led by this amazing organizing team. We are more than excited for this 3-day hackathon, only possible with the generous support from our sponsors and partners. Let me give, so this is a quick overview of all the events that we have done, through the last 2 years. And this is the amazing Women in AI Canada team that has been supporting us through the last 2 years. So a huge shout out to all the sponsors and partners that has made this day possible. Thank you to our premium sponsors, AltaML and ATB Financial. AltaML is a leading North American applied AI company. They accelerate the AI adoption journey for private and public sectors and pursue product opportunities through industry-specific joint ventures. It is scaling rapidly to become the undisputed leader in responsible AI. Huge shout out to AltaML for their continued support for women in AI. Our next premium sponsor is ATB Financial, largest Alberta-based financial institution with more than 5,000 team members delivering exceptional experiences to more than 800,000 clients. For the past 7 years, they have been named top employer by Great Place to Work Canada. Thank you, ATB Financial, for being a generous sponsor for our initiatives. Next is our gold sponsor, Arise AI. Arise AI is a machine learning observability platform to help unpack proverbial AI black box. They have many solutions that helps machine learning teams with tools to understand the models beyond they are in production. We also have incredible community partners, Products by Women, which is a global diverse community-led network for women in tech and business. Happy Hive, a platform that helps job seekers find meaningful work with tech companies and promotes equal pay and inclusion. Responsible AI Institute, who is developing one of the world's first responsible AI certification programs, grounded in human rights and aligned with globally adopted AI principles and research. And last but not the least, Accenture, who doesn't need an introduction. So next up, we are going to our opening keynotes. We have Celia Wanderley, Chief Technology Officer from AltaML, with us today as our first keynote speaker. Celia, thank you so much for joining with us today. Celia doesn't need much introduction, but a quick overview of her background. She holds a bachelor's and master's degree in computer science and has over 25 years of technology, business, and management consulting experience. She has solid competencies in digital transformation, organizational change management, program and project management, enterprise architecture, strategic planning, and a lot more. So prior to joining AltaML, she has worked for Deloitte Consulting in the technology strategy and transformation service. Celia, we are so happy and thrilled to have you as our speaker today. Over to you for your session. Thank you.
Thank you, Princey, and thank you, team, and welcome everybody. So I'll try to share my screen here for a few slides. Please let me know if that's okay. Can see?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. So I'd say, just so I'm really, it's interesting how you're going through this the intro there, Princey, and to think that Women in AI in Canada is only 2 years old is pretty unbelievable, given how much you have done. So big kudos to the team of volunteers. I was asked to talk a little bit about AutoML so that you know who we are, and thanks, Princey, for starting the conversation there. We are a venture studio. That's how we define ourselves. And what does that mean? It means our ultimate goal is we start working with clients in building custom solutions, but we're really hoping to create new ventures, to spin off new companies. So it's a little bit of a funnel in which we work with multiple customers developing custom AI solutions in an industry agnostic manner. Then a short list of those ideas get incubated into internal ventures, and we also spin off some of them. So that's who we are, a venture studio. To be a venture studio, it means our business model has two sides. The one that I lead, which is called AutoML Invent, where we work with enterprise level customers and we deliver services. So to date, we are a 4-year-old company, and we have worked on around 400 or so use cases with over 90 different clients. And we go and and have conversations with them to understand where could AI and machine learning be applied to solve real industry problems, real business problems. A lot of what we work with tends to be related to greenhouse gas emissions and how to make lower the impact in the world, how to make people more effective in the jobs that they do. So a lot of human augmentation. On the venture studio side of our business, to date we have spun off 5 different ventures. One in the investment management, Alpha Layer. One in the legal space, Jury Sage. One in industrial automation, Blue Marble, with a partner, Sylvester.ai, which is a fun one in the veterinary health, and System 3 in executive recruitment. It's an interesting combination. Sometimes some of these ventures are uniquely owned by AutoML. Other times they are jointly owned with partners or some of those clients that started in the corporate lab before. Just a little display of attraction, and I know Ian's here. ATB has been a very strong client and partner for us in not only in the work that we do as services, but also in all of our community endeavors. I think our organizations are very much delivers in giving back to the community. One of the things that we're pretty proud of is really the idea that we're trying to really move the needle in moving applications to production, the solutions that we build. For those who have been in industry, you'll see that there's a lot of proof of concept, experimentation, but it requires a bit more risk-taking and being brave to actually put those things to use in production. So I think that's a lot of the conversation that we have with our clients, and we're pretty proud that about 50% of the solutions we build, actually the past feasibility, are moving to production and being adopted, whereas industry benchmark is under 20% really. We're over the moon in the last week because we've just been awarded. We're in the Lloyd's Fast 50 and in North America's Fast 500. Had also received an award from the Globe and Mail a few weeks back as one of the fastest growing companies in Canada. And another award that makes us really proud is the Responsible AI Award from the Responsible AI Institute. We were the first Canadian company to be a member of the Responsible AI Institute. Why are we a proud supporter of Women in AI? We believe our purposes are really aligned. So as Women in AI, and its focus with empowering women and minorities to become AI and data experts. And at AutoML, we really talk about elevating human potential and applying AI responsibly. So we see, we see just a huge alignment in what we're both trying to achieve. This hackathon, why we wanted to support it? As you can tell by Altamel's history, entrepreneurship is really in our DNA and the DNA of our founders. And the topic around addressing the social issue or gap and the sustainable development goals are things that we work for every day. So I think you're going to have, with this organizing team, I have no doubt this is going to be a fantastic event. And thanks everyone for joining, and I wish you like an amazing weekend. And I just have my contact there. I love to connect with as many of you as possible, so feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Celia. Thank you so much for that inspiring opening keynote. And thank you, Altamal, for your continued support throughout the since the inception of Women in AI. Next up, we have Ian Hargreaves, Fellow of Artificial Intelligence at ATB Financial, our premium sponsor for Women in AI Hackathon. Ian is responsible for taking AI out of the lab. This means creating secure, scalable, and transparent platforms that deliver on core AI capabilities like computer vision or personalization. His mission is to weave a thread of AI through all digital experiences at ATB, whether it is tools used by ATB team members or experiences that directly benefit customers. By rethinking how teams build, support, and deliver AI capabilities, Ian and his team believe that they can truly reimagine banking by surrounding all Albertans with a network of intelligent services designed to grow their wealth, however they define it. Wow. We are so excited to have you as our speaker, Ian. Over to you for your sessions. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And I think I even managed to wear the exact same shirt as in my profile photo. So time to refresh my wardrobe. Thanks everyone. Thanks to Women in AI for the opportunity to speak with you today. And I will just be speaking. I didn't bring any slides. I'll maybe take a moment just to speak about ATB and ATB Financial. We are a crown corporation owned by the province of Alberta, over 5,000 employees, about 55 billion in assets, 800,000 plus and growing clients. And I'm sure if you've ever taken a road trip through rural Alberta and stopped in small towns or cities like Nanton, you will have seen an ATB. We have a really great presence within the province of Alberta, and that's because we were founded for Alberta. During the Great Depression, when a lot of Albertans were struggling to find access to capital. And so you may wonder, what does AI look like at a bank? And I certainly did when I started there 7 years ago as a data scientist. I had no idea. I was fresh out of university with a cognitive neuroscience degree. And, what I found was a lot of data, but more the right kind of attitude. And one thing that really stuck with me, our then CEO, Dave Mowat, he'd ask us to consider, why do banks have all that marble in the lobby, right? If you go to an old bank, you'll often see a lot of marble in the lobby, big, beautiful pillars, maybe sort of gold leaf and trim. Well, why is that? Well, the answer is because banking is fundamentally about trust. And if we think of the origins of banking, a lot of what we needed to do was to, create a space where people would leave their money with us. We needed to build trust, and that's why there's all that marble in the lobby. Well, how often are you in the lobby of a bank these days? Right? Not often. A lot of banking these days is about the digital migration of money, the digital movement of different assets, and so the movement of data, the trust and value we can build out of data becomes really essential to the future of banking. And so data science, artificial intelligence have a tremendous role to play in how we build trust. So then think about the mission, right? To build trust through artificial intelligence. I think about that, and it was just last week there was a news story that broke that the first female crash test dummy was developed, right, and had been piloted. This is Astrid Linder, a researcher out of Sweden. So up until now, we've only been testing with male-bodied formed crash test dummies, all safety testing for all cars throughout the history of automotive engineering and safety testing. And when it came to women, they would use a scaled down version of that dummy, despite the fact that there are numerous differences. And as a result, we find that women are 17% more likely to die in a car crash than men. We find that 73% women are 73% more likely to sustain serious injury in a car crash than a man, right, in the exact same car with the exact same safety standards. And that's because women weren't involved in the design. They weren't involved in the engineering and fabrication of those, the setting and determination of those safety standards. There's a gap, right? There's a gap there, and as a result, people get hurt. And I guess that brings me to the specific importance of an event like this, and I think why it's so important that ATB and AltaML and other partners really sort of back the mission of Women in AI, because I don't see how we can build trust unless we have women leaders in AI, unless we have women in the design and development and build and deployment and monitoring of artificial intelligence solutions. We need you at the table. And I think that's why an event like this is so important, and why I am so happy and ATB is so happy to lend our support to this. So thank you. Have fun over the next few days. And a big thanks to Women in AI for all of the great work that they do.
Thank you so much, Ian, for that great introduction to ATB's responsible AI thoughts, and also, supporting our hackathon and our previous events as well. Next up, we have our amazing speaker from Women in AI itself, Bua Shakti, Chief Ethics and Culture Officer and the Director of Americas at Women in AI. So she has been, we have been working with Bua for a long time, and she has been our support system, and we have organized many events together. She is committed to empowering societal change and democratizing human integrated technology collaboration with emphasis on responsible policies and inclusive organization worldwide. Her mission is to expand privacy education and trust in ethical standards, and advance as the principal influencer of transparent and empathic culture in daily lives. She has an MBA from Columbia University in New York, and she is the Senior Director at Capgemini. She is a FinTech Transformation Champion at WAI Max and a dual graduate in Computer Science and Software Engineering. She's also an early-stage investor in social impact startups with a vision to accelerate economic freedom and growth while reducing inequalities. Bua, we are so thrilled to have you as our next speaker. Over to you, Bua, for the UN Sustainable Goals introduction. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Francie. If you could stop sharing, I would like to share a quick deck. Thanks, everyone. So hopefully you can see my screen.
Yep, we can see it.
All right. Thanks, Francie, for a very warm welcome, and thanks to Women in AI Canada for inviting me to be part of your journey. Today, I'll briefly touch upon key sustainable development goals, which is a mission on this hackathon weekend. And I'll also talk about some of the top challenges, some ideas that you can pick up from the goals defined for your solution in this weekend. Our focus will also be on diverse inclusion and responsible social impact. So how you are able to combine various challenges, create solutions that keep inclusion and social impact in mind. Our overall mission statement also includes a broader digital inclusion theme. There are highly interrelated together with financial inclusion or social inclusion, especially as we see in this post-pandemic world. So what you would be able to consider in terms of creating a solution in terms of digital inclusion is maybe equitable access to digital tools. So keep in mind the hybrid environment that we are going to be in for some time. How can we enable seamless access across devices, channels? How do we ensure to meet the needs of users at a place they are in? For example, there are several localities where internet or laptop access for education is a challenge. So how do we solve for that? Another challenge could be a financial inclusion. So even though financial inclusion is almost always thought of as an afterthought, World Bank research indicates if we enable financial inclusion, we can reduce extreme poverty and also boost shared prosperity across the globe. So how do we make it happen? For example, you can create solutions that enable either affordable or responsible access to everyday financial products and services to individuals anywhere. In remote areas for small businesses and so on and so forth. Some of the examples could include how do you enable simple transactions to buy sustainable products or services online? So how do you help someone to micro-save every dollar that they earn? How do you enable credit to someone without any bias in the algorithms that you develop, right? Or even trying to invest in a household or a business, taking insurance. How do we qualify them? So many of these are run with AI algorithms these days, and enabling inclusive financial access, trying to create solutions to facilitate, let's say, day-to-day lives of families or businesses, how they can plan for long-term goals in terms of unexpected emergencies. Lastly, I just want to quickly cover about social inclusion, right? So in terms of social inclusion, try to see if you are able to identify solutions that can improve lifestyles of individuals or groups that take part in the society as a whole. They should be able to exercise their basic human rights, improving their ability, let's say, opportunities to help the disadvantaged based on their identity, be it gender, age, race, ethnicity, disability, location, or region. Anything is fine, but try to see if some of the social inclusion concepts can be included in the solutions. So across all these inclusion categories, we know that artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science have a lot of enablers. They are becoming the norm in some of the algorithms that we create. And our goal is to ensure the solutions that we put forward also have ethics, trust, and culture as a core component, not as an afterthought. So we don't want to build an ethics solution, rather include ethical solutions in everything we build using AI, machine learning, and data science. And coming to our theme for the weekend, which is the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I believe most of you should be aware, at least already for the hackathon. That's a key component to ensure we are able to develop solutions that are across developed and developing countries, right? So try to focus on solutions not only for the place you are in, rather how do you extend to someone who's not in the same place as you in a remote location, right? So it should be ensuring, let's say, improving health, education, reducing inequality, and also very importantly, tackling climate change, all right? So most of the sustainable goals focus on that. And in your themes today, if you're able to weave in some of these challenges along with your primary solution, it will be a big win for all of us. So in terms of going into the actual goals itself that you'll be solving this weekend, so I want to quickly call out that some of the solutions, try to keep in mind that advanced technology may not exist in several locations, but many do have access to advanced technology. So how do you kind of weave in both and bring the best of both worlds? Like I said, try to integrate ethics, privacy, and trust into all of your solutions. So our first solution for this weekend is gender equality, goal number 5. So Gender equality, though it is considered a separate goal in sustainable development goals, it should be inherent to any solution that's being built by all of us. Ian gave a good example of how a certain component did not exist for several years, even though we use it. So gender equality should not be considered a separate challenge, rather try to consider some of the solutions integrating in ending discrimination, violence. Also, how do you enable women in leadership positions? So leadership positions could be anything from economic, political, or public service policy. And also, how do we provide universal healthcare to everyone? So since I'm joining from US, I know several countries have several different healthcare accesses. How do you create equality of healthcare access and rights for women and girls? And more importantly, want to also emphasize empowering digital access, financial access, legal access for women and girls everywhere, right? So that's one of the key components of goal number 5, that's gender equality. I know for this weekend, goal number 17, which is a common goal that enables partnerships for all the sustainable goals, is not part of a direct challenge, but it's very important that I thought we should ensure some of the common goals are critical to help enable and successfully achieve the remaining 16 goals. So number 17 is partnerships for goals, which is a common goal enabling inclusive economic growth, also enabling improved physical and mental health at any age. It also supports equitable lifelong learning. And some of the recommendations that you can consider as part of your solution this weekend is how do you expand access to underserved communities, underbanked communities, or sometimes even unbanked communities. How do you reduce pollution and contamination? Because you have an infrastructure goal that's coming up in your hackathon weekend. Additionally, how do you voice for equal pay for work of equal value? Nothing more, nothing less, but equal always, right? And also trying to prevent, treat, and promote mental health as equally as physical health emphasis, right? And the next goal is around quality education. I'm pretty sure everyone has a good handle on quality education. Just want to share some top tips from my end, as well as to how do we ensure quality education across all sides of the spectrum in universities, colleges, and even in community settings, right? So like I mentioned, World Bank research indicates financial inclusion is a key enabler to reduce extreme poverty and also boost shared prosperity. So ensuring we give emphasis on that, and also teaching human rights, ethical lifestyles in some of our educational institutions, as well as promoting women in STEM, especially deep tech in AI, machine learning, data science, where we are in. And lastly, how do we build and expand knowledge communities like women in AI, women in tech, something similar, right? So it's how we bring together all of this, not only self-learning, but also exchanging with the community. And that brings me to the last goal for the weekend, which is goal number 9, focused on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Some of the recommendations under this, and I already spoke about climate change, enabling clean and resilient infrastructure. How do we upgrade some of the legacy systems that we have? How do we bring localized, diversified, and shared research? So there is a lot of research happening in developed countries. How do we bring that to developing countries so there is balance of knowledge that's shared and there is shared innovation? Lastly, I want to emphasize how do we enable trans-border growth, especially with the post-pandemic mission. There is a lot of challenge in the global markets and supply chains. So how do we bring them together? So if you're picking up this goal number 9, try to keep some of those in mind as well. And that brings me to the end of all the goals that predominantly you'll be working on. And I want to wish everyone all the very best in turning these challenges to opportunities of holistic wellness for everyone. You can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm here. Ping me on chat if any questions. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Fritzi.